Chicago, back again on a Super Sunday. Yes, a Super Sunday like Super Samurai Sunday. Remember that back in the day? Yeah, we having one of those days today. I'll chop you up. Yeah, you know, and put some soy sauce on you, okay? Yeah. But anyway, you all, we having a great time. And if you are not having a great time, whether you're downtown Chicago, whether you're relaxing in your home, watching movies, playing video games, or with your loved ones, male, female, wife, husband, girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever. But have a super Sunday as you should. Everybody deserves a super Sunday, huh? As they call it, the day of rest, seeing that some people work 6 days a week versus 5 days a week. But Sunday, according to the Gregorian calendar, take you a break. Okay? Yeah. Like I say, you all are having a fantastic time. And if this is your first time watching the THEMOSHOW Chicago, we ask that you share the information with relatives, friends, co-workers, anyone that you come into contact with. It is a magnificent way to jumpstart your conversation. And to kick things off, we're going to talk about this crime again. These murders that's going on here in Chicago. 5 dead, 30 misplaced. One of the dead just happens to be a 53-year-old man who got his electricity cut off over here on Division and Central. Really right Parkside, a block away in between there. Yeah, got his electricity cut off, got into an argument with another male, and he took out the squeeze. Left him there, dead, in the alley. No one has been apprehended yet. No one. And that's just so much that we can say about that story. Like many people here in Chicago, sleeping in their cars. People just walking up to them, shooting and killing them in their cars. In fact about it, if I'm not mistaken, they're really trying to make sleeping in your car in Chicago a crime. Well, shall I say the state of Illinois. Sleeping in your car is a crime because you can end up dead. And they are tired of dead bodies washing up on their watch. Isn't that right, Brandon Johnson? I'm just saying. Yeah, all of these people out here that's doing those murders have to change your brother's mentality. Have to change a brother's mentality. That's what the hat is. Change a brother's mentality. We're living in the jungle out here. Some say it's a zoo. Some say it's worse than Vietnam. Some say that it's worse than the Persian Gulf War. It's bad out here in the concrete jungle. Better be safe than sorry. And sometimes you may have to strap up just to go outside, because you never know when those bandits are going to come around, when those wolves are going to come around, trying to make you the prey for their supper or lunch, okay? For real. And before we move on, I want to send shouts out to everybody that's there in the chat room here. Bang Brothers, Spider-Man, and Ariel. I want to thank you all for being here. Yes, kind of hard to see despite these big glasses because I get sun glare, and then I got this hat on, and I'm not going to tilt the camera, but I will give you a shout out because you could have been doing something else with someone else. So we thank you for being here today. We tip our hat to you, and we sincerely thank you for your participation. Okay? Changing brothers' mentality. That will change the murder rate, not only in Chicago, but across America. Changing a brother's mentality. Changing a brother's mentality can change the energy that's in your home. Can change the life or the role that you play in the lives of your children. Changing a brother's mentality. We have to do that. Because all of these young black men out here, young black women, and whatever other color you are in the crayon box, they are out here running wild. Just like the 23-year-old Lontre Clark, 23 years old, kills 4 people, unalive 4 people, all because of his ex-girlfriend started dating his friend. Whew. Was that really his friend? Was that really his girl if his ex-girlfriend is now dating his friend? That means that this was already being conspired to happen. What do you think about that? Y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. You know how you all have those relationships when you're already talking to a man or a woman while you're in one, but soon you know that you're working your way out of it? Y'all know what I mean. Or you probably even seen some of your relatives do that move. Snake move versus just telling the person that they're currently dealing with, hey, it's over, and be a righteous person and not mess with their best friends. But sometimes people feel that the grass is green on the other side. So what did Lontre Clark do? You go over here on the west side of Laramie and North Avenue. Remember that big building that used to stay on the corner, that big yellow building? Like diagonal across from that BP gas station. So it's really, right on Latrobe. But needless to say, Lontre Clark went and set the building on fire. Tried to just set her apartment on fire, but ended up setting the whole building on fire, unaliving 4 people. All because of some coochie. All because of some coochie and betrayal. Now, those people who you displaced, which was around 30 people who stayed in that apartment complex, those 30 people did not have anything to do with your relationship and that love triangle that you had going on. Lontre, now you got 4 bodies. One was a 76-year-old man by, I think his name was Brad Cummings, newspaper editor. Then you had 2 sisters, Gina Henry Brown and Destiny Henry Brown, and a 5-year-old, one of their sons, Jason Henry, unalived, burned up, because you could control yourself and you had no conflict resolution skill. Now, what's really ironic about this story is that when it all took place, Lontre went and picked up a friend, another male, took him to the gas station with him, filled up an antifreeze bottle with gasoline, then went to a convenience store and purchased him a mask, a black hoodie, and, a lighter. And what did he do? He drove that individual, that young man that was with him, in the car. Now, the man did not know what he was going to do, but Lontre, after he got back in the car, told the person in the vehicle that he picked up that I just set their house on fire because she was seeing my dude. He really wasn't your dude, number one. And then, 2, you should have never responded like that. He accused his ex-girlfriend of doing that, and then she took a selfie with her and his friend, her new boyfriend, and posted it on social media, and that's when he went enraged, bananas, lost all of his common sense, all over the box that wasn't even his no more. Damn. And what makes matters worse is that his ex-girlfriend and her new boyfriend, his supposedly friend, got out of the fire. They tried escaping through the exits, but the exits were full of fire and smoke, so they jumped out the window. But 4 other people didn't make it because of your bad choices. Because of your bad choices. Lack of common sense. Lack of respect for anyone else who may have stayed in the building. But now, the same person that you had in the vehicle with you, Lantre, is the one that snitched on you. Whew. Damn. Is the same person that snitched on you. Do you think that that person, whom they did not mention in the report, who was the guy that he picked up in the car, do you think that he was wrong or right for telling the authorities who set that fire and why they set that fire? Huh? Would you have snitched? Would you have asked your friend what was he doing with the gasoline, seeing that he didn't put it inside of the gas tank? Why was he going to get a hoodie, a black one? Why was he going to get the things necessary to do a arson job? Does that not make him an accomplice? Or does his accomplice get knocked out the way, seeing that he wasn't informed of what he was going to do, and the man snitched after the fact? And they say that they got it on video surveillance. However, the attorney for Lantre Clark says that they do not have him on surveillance setting the fire. That's the argument. So what, he went and got these things, and his friend that he picked up is going to lie on him and say that he set that building on fire? Who would lie on their friend and say that they set that building on fire? Would you lie on your homie like that? I wouldn't. Arson is a very dangerous thing here in the country in regards to carrying jail time, prison time. Not to mention the fact that you got 4 bodies now, and now you done just wasted your life. You done wasted your life while she was still be getting disco wand by the man that you called your friend, while you eating those green pink bologna sandwiches, asking somebody to send you some commissary money. Damn. No conflict resolution skills. No respect for other people's lives. This is what happens when you let your emotions override your thinking. I'm going to say that again. This is what happens when you let your emotions override your thinking. The man can't claim insanity because it was all premeditated. You got premeditated murder, first-degree murder, attempted murder. They didn't say the premeditated murder. That's what I'm putting in there, because the judge is going to say that to you, or it's going to be mentioned in court by the prosecutor that you premeditated not only your ex-girlfriend's death and your so-called friend's death, but these other people here. And according to the fire report, the original fire spread it from numerous of places that existed by the exes, not only by the apartment that his girlfriend stayed in. The ex-girlfriend, that is. Do you think she'll go see him in jail? Damn! Do you think his friend who snitched on him will go see him in jail? What would you do if that was you? Would you lose your cool and set a building on fire? Would you lose your cool and murder somebody? Would you lose your cool and lose your freedom over the box that is no longer yours? Because when you go to jail or when you go to prison, it's like the military. Jody's got your girl and gone. Jody's got your girl and gone. That's what happens. That's what happens to a whole lot of guys, even the guys that go into the military. Ain't no sense of calling home. Jody's got your girl and gone. Yeah. And it happens all the time. Time. 1 to the 1,000. Not 100, but 1 to the 1,000. And speaking of dollars and cents, the leader of the country who helps make the money grow or make the money decrease, meaning putting us into an inflation state. Yes, more inflation. Mr. Donald Trump. Mr. Donald Trump has just gone bananas. We think of what we haven't saw yet to come. Put it that way. Think of what we haven't yet seen come from the president of this country. Because right now, he's threatening celebrities, just like Rosie O'Donnell, and told her that he will revoke her citizenship. And she should stay over there in Ireland where she is if they want her. Well, let me tell you something, Mr. Trump. You cannot de-citizenship any American citizen. You cannot de-citizenship any U.S. citizen. You can't do that. I don't know where he don't understand how he has a limit to his powers. But you see what he's trying to do. Even judges have stopped the order from deportation. Yeah, the judge stopped that. And, or was it the ICE raids that they were having in LA told Trump to step down on that? And the deportation, yeah, I'm right about that. He's having serious backlash behind that because there are a lot of rules according to the Constitution that is being broken. That he's breaking. That he is breaking. Now, don't get me wrong. You have a lot of bad illegal immigrants that came to this country doing bad things, murdering people, kidnapping people, bringing drugs in that the CIA didn't bring in, okay? Or the DEA didn't bring in. They bringing them in, okay? Like the pink cocaine and everything, okay? But needless to say, I agree with him that some of them, all of them, need to be sent back to where they came from. Especially since they want to raise the flag of the country in which they came from against U.S. authority, law enforcement authority. Yeah, that's the problem. Take yourself back over there. Take yourself back over there. Now, granted, all of us, well, some of us may be immigrants because some of us was already here. And in order for you to understand that, you got to do some history work, okay? We went through over that on this channel and MOPOWERZ. But we're going to get to MOPOWERZ in a minute, okay? But Donald Trump threatened Rosie O'Donnell. But not only that, he threatened New York City mayoral candidate Zohran Mamnandi and how he should be arrested. How can a president who's been convicted of 34 felons have a man running for mayor office in New York City arrested because he don't like him? Yeah, right now he's running against former governor of New York City, Andrew Cuomo, for New York City's mayor primary in 2 weeks. And according to the reports, Zohran Mamnandi is in the lead. And Donald Trump threatened not only to have him arrested, but he also threatened to have federal funding stopped from New York City. How you going to do that, man? How you not going to fund a state because they didn't agree with the candidate that you like? Huh? Mayor Eric Adams is behind, and former governor Andrew Cuomo is behind. Cuomo, you've had your turn, man. Just like your brother had his turn on CNN, okay? You had your turn already. Huh? I'm just saying. Do you all think Andrew Cuomo should be the next mayor? Or do you think they need some new blood? Donald Trump says that Zohran Mamnandi is a communist. He calls the man a communist just because he comes from a different ethnic background than he do. He wanted to see somebody that's as blue-blooded back in the mayoral office. Not that Eric Adams isn't a part of that clique, but he really wanted someone that was true blue-blooded to help him complete his evil ship of destruction that he's going to further release on the American people. Andrew Cuomo would have been a good candidate to help him. But New Yorkers don't see the way that you see Donald Trump, even though you're from New York. You see? What do you all think? Do you think Andrew Cuomo will win? Do you think he will not win? Do you think that Zohran Mamnandi will win? And do you think that Zohran Mamnandi will make a difference in the city of New York? And do you take Donald Trump at his word in regards that he would defund federal funding? Some of it. He can't do it all, but I'm sure he'll find a way to hold his promise to the end to reduce some funding for that city, for that state. If this man, it has to be for the city, it can't be for the whole state. Because he's not mayor over the whole state. He would just be mayor over the city. So some of the funding for the city, you know, what do you think? New Yorkers? I say the New Yorkers are standing up against Donald Trump and his evil policies right now. And they want to see a change in what Eric Adams didn't do, in the hopes that Zohran Mamnandi would do a better job than Eric Adams. Who do you think would be a better candidate? Leave your comments in the comment section. And before we get out of here, I want you to go over to my other channel, MOPOWERZ, where we finished the audiobook series entitled Stolen Legacy. So if you haven't went over there and listened to that information that we left for you, take a little time. I broke them up in sections so that you can do piece by piece versus worrying about, I left off here, I left off there. You will know where you left off at because I broke it down that way, okay? So Stolen Legacy audiobook series is done, and you can find From Babylon to Timbuktu over there. You can find Black Man of the Nile and his family over there. You can find Message to the Black Man of America over there. You can find The Destruction of Black Civilization over there. You can find As a Man Thinketh over there. You can find The Fall of America over there. You can find The Demonology of King James over there. You can find The Chronological Order from Alchemy to Wicca over there. You can find The World's 16 Crucified Saviors over there. You can find The Miseducation Negro over there, and a whole lot more other fantastic videos that will resonate in your soul and leave a light bulb over your head so that you can think about it, so that you can change a brother's mentality. Change the mentality of your children. Change the mentality of your families so that you can become a better person and that we can become a better people. Not just for black people, but for humanity. People ask me, do I stand for black power? No, I don't stand for black power. I stand for right, and that's it. What's right? If you're right, you're right. If you're wrong, you're wrong. There was a time in my life when I did wrong, just like there was a time in other people's lives when they did wrong. But when you grow up, you don't do wrong things no more. At least you don't try to. And you don't try to make the same mistakes, especially if they were fatal mistakes that cost you years of your life, years of freedom. Those mistakes you really try not to make no more, but some people still don't have the common sense activated because it's been grossed over with the filth of this world. 100. You know, it's just like a dog. Could you imagine the common sense of a dog, of a cat? They don't smoke, they don't drink, they don't do drugs. They just live. Could you be that way? I think that humans are becoming more beastful than the beasts of the earth. What do you think? I'm just saying. And if you're into traveling, you can go to that as well. And we can go, yeah, to MOPOWERZ if you're into traveling. Damn, tongue twister. Yeah, go over there and take a ride with me to North Dakota, South Dakota, Washington State, Canada, New York, New Jersey, Philadelphia, Washington, D.C., Vermont, New Hampshire, Connecticut, Maine, Philadelphia, West Virginia, Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina, down there at Hilton Head, baby. South Carolina at Hilton Head. Ooh, that was beautiful. And Myrtle Beach. Check us out down there. At MOPOWERZ here on YOUTUBE. And if you are into Chicago old school music like Twista, Shauna, Mano, even though Mano is not from Chicago, but we got Mano. We got Official Business. We got Mecca. We got Affiliated Fellas. We have Chi-Town affiliates. Yes, Chi-Town affiliates. Big Taz, the Nomads, Big Mill, Cadillac Seville, Black Money. A whole lot of people over there. Just go over there. Twista, Shauna, Crucial Conflict, and Psychodrama. Drama Award, Triple Darkness, got them all over there. And if you're into old school comedy, Diane Corder, Dion Cole, Reggie Reg, Quintella, Snoop, Reggie Reg, Daryl Banks, Shari, go over there. We got all of that comedy over there for you on Diane's birthday at the Red Pepper Lounge on 87th Street in Chicago. Southside? I'm just saying. So get yourself over there. And on your way out the door, make sure you hit the subscribe button, the notification bell, and the word all to help ensure that you get notifications when we upload videos on YOUTUBE. And press those condiments to like and to share. Share the information with relatives, friends, co-workers, anyone that you come into contact with. It is a magnificent way to jumpstart your conversation. Thank you all for viewing. Never ever give up on your dreams. And that's my TIME. Peace out. See you later tonight.